my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I am very happy and grateful that you have chose to spend your time with me. And the ways you can support my channel: like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe so I can appease the mighty algorithm and be seen by more people, and hopefully help someone to make a decision either way on a deck, or click on the notification bell to be notified of when a new video comes out. And I hope that you're all doing well. But if not, I do hope things will get better for you soon. But in the meantime, join me in meeting the Eldritch Overlord Tarot. And it was created by Brenda Ho and published by WeirdWorks, and it was released 2023. And so retail, I looked on WeirdWorks, and it's $50 for the deck itself. And if you want the companion book, it's $69 for both of them. If you just want the companion book, it is $29. And then they do have these tarot sleeves if you want to protect the cards with the holographic and stuff like that. They do have these for $5. All right. So the box itself is 5 1/4 height. Across is 3.25, and the width is 1.5, and it does have thumb indents. And the title, and it's got the holographic etching in it on just the two sides. They don't have it all across the title. And on the back, we have Divination EXE file. The Eldritch Overlord is a tarot deck set in a cybernetic future filled with dark spells, mythical monsters, smart warriors. Explore the vast city of Neo-Vulcan, from the Undercity to the Junklands, the Spark, and beyond. Enter. All right, so we got some more artwork on the sides. So sparkly. All right, so on the front, got some card art. Okay, and then we have this little booklet here, and we'll go over that. And I'm going to put this, and we'll go over this after we look at the cards. So inside the box, you have Ozor, the Watcher. He keeps all 17 Kinoscope's eyes on the Neo-Vulcan. All right. So it is based in the cyberpunk's fantasy city of Neon Vulcan and Neon Jewel, in a desert wasteland of trash and dead civilizations. Yeah, I cribbed that off the website. Alright, okay. Alright, so when I do a tarot deck video, I will compare the deck that the video is about with a Rider-Waite-Smith, so you can kind of get an idea if you want to add it to your collection, and if you're a beginner, if you want to explore a new deck and how beginner friendly it is, if you want to stick to beginner friendly kind of decks. Okay, so the cards themselves are the same size as your standard Rider-Waite, as you can see, and reversals will not be revealed, as you can see. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see this, but when the cards are flat, it's kind of interesting. See, when the cards are kind of flat is the best way I can put it. If you see here, this area right here, it doesn't have the holographic glyphs, but once you move it, yeah, it turns very holographic. That's a neat little thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and look at the majors. this out of the way. All right. I kind of think this is a good beginner deck. It does, the illustrations, you can kind of get what the card is, and it does kind of represent what's in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck with a cyberpunk twist. And I do believe these cards were originally a Kickstarter. And I do believe the original Kickstarter page is still there, so if you want to check it out. Okay, so that was the majors. And they kept the wands. Yeah, I really like this deck. It's something different. There's a lot to look at. And they did keep the court cards. Okay, that is the wands. And then they did change the cups into potions. Okay. And next we have the swords. They kept the swords. Okay. coins, and they replaced pentacles. All right, and that is the deck itself. And the cardstock is really nice. It's kind of a matte, and it is flexible. So I really like the cardstock. Seems like it'll last. All right, so we have our little guidebook here. Oh, and I wanted to show you the other deck that Brenda has done, and it's on Weird Works as well. And it is the Adventurers deck, the Empress deck, and she did that deck as well, and I will be doing a future video on that one if you are so interested. Okay, so we have our intro, and this just basically talks about the setting of where the characters originate from. And then we have how to read tarot, and it just goes into the background about tarot. And on the cards there were these symbols as well up in the right hand or left hand corner. And then we have card spreads. We have single card reading, 3-card spread, and they just wanted to give you a couple of simple spreads to get you started. And then we have the cards themselves. They start off with the major arcana, and then you have upright and reversed meanings. And it's just a really short and sweet kind of guidebook. And then you have your Ace of Wands starting the next suit. And then you have your Cups, Potions, suits. And then we have the Swords, suits. And then we have the Coins, Pentacle suits. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, mine, I got wet, so that's why it looks a little warped. And then you have the Weird Works. Okay, so let's go ahead and alright, so shuffling, kind of good. I mean, it's the same size as the Rider-Waite Smith, so if you're okay with those size of cards, you should be okay with these. They are a little stiff because, you know, with all new cards, sometimes they just take a little working with to get them. But these are I have no complaints against them. So let's go ahead and see what card wants to pop up and say hi and give us a message. And I'll do a second card draw for the bigger guidebook, but this one is just for the smaller one, so you can kind of get an idea. Ooh, Death. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Decay, resisting change, negative pattern. There is no resisting death, and it changes, and the changes it brings. Although we may be stuck in old habits or a path we never wished to take, do not despair. You can find the strength to enact change and create a new and better future. Reversed, it would be release, transformation, and transition. Death signals an era coming to a close. When one thing ends, another has the chance to begin. Change can be scary, but you must move forward and face the coming dawn. All right. I don't know who needed to hear that message, but there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this tarot reading guide book that you can get. And this goes deeper into the meanings. And it's got the Watcher. And it does have ribbon, so you can hold your page. Okay, so yeah, I'm a sucker for guidebooks, I admit it. And then you have your credited page of all the people who worked on this, and Weird Works. And then you have some background on the city of Neo-Vulcan. And you can pause that and read that at your leisure. Yeah, it just gives you an idea of what goes on there. And the different fractions, I guess you could call them, or cities inside the city. And then you have the Junklands and a little bit of background on that one, and then who reside there. And then you have the spark, and it gives you some background on that area. And then we have just a little bit of the Neo-Vulcan again, and pretty much what's in the smaller guidebook is on these 2 pages, and then you get your simple card spreads. And then we go into the major arcana. Okay, so as you can see, it gives you a picture of the card, full-size picture, and then gives you the background on the card, what the card is all about. Let me see if I can put it up a little bit more. Yeah. And then you get a deeper upright and reverse on the card. And then at the bottom, you get some journaling or some questions to ask yourself if you get the card. Okay. So basically, that's pretty much what it is. And it's just if you want larger of the artwork and you just want some more deeper meanings and, questions to ask yourself. So yeah, if you really like guidebooks, you'll like this one. And as you can see, it has the whole holofoil on the outside. Yeah, and pretty much that is it. What is in your larger guidebook. And then we have the minor arcana. Same thing. Usually they skimp on the minors, but they didn't here. They give you the background on the card, upright, reverse, and then you have your questions at the bottom. Which is nice when they don't scrimp on the minors, because I know it's like the majors are the big messages, while the minors are, lesser impactful compared to the majors. But still, I still consider them important. So as you can see, they are kind of like colored depending on what suit. The potions get the blue, the wands get the yellow, I want to say yellow-red kind of color, and then you have, for the coins, you have a green. Okay, I think I mentioned the sword. Yeah, the swords get purple. Okay. And you get the 5 of Wands in the back. And that is pretty much it for the big guidebook. And like I said, I was going to do another shuffle and get another message. Ooh, the Empress. All right. The Empress. Okay. All right. Let's see. In the dank understory of the concrete jungle, far away from natural sunlight, a Verbolig, sorry, I've totally butchered that, botanist has managed to nurture an impressive and beautiful array of flora. She devotes her life to the growth of life-giving plants and herbs for her community. The high price of unaffordable pharmaceuticals drives many citizens to seek out those who are reviving the ancient art of herbalism and apothecaries. Upright, femininity, sensuality, nurturing, and abundance. While the high priestess shows divine femininity, the empress represents the physical importance of femininity. It's important to experience and enjoy our bodies through our senses, whether eating delicious food, getting a massage, listening to our favorite songs, creating art, trying out a new hobby, or spending quality time with our loved ones. The Empress lets us know that we can't forget to slow down and enjoy the fruits of our labor. You put in the hard work and personal growth to create comfort and abundance for yourself, so take the time to reflect on everything you are grateful for. A symbol of life and fertility, the Empress suggests that nurturing and caring for others brings you joy and a sense of fulfillment. Helping out our friends and community is an important part of feeling like we belong somewhere and gives our lives purpose. If you're feeling disconnected and isolated, maybe your local park has a volunteer group that meets up to clear out invasive species and plant native floral. Reverse, detachment, self-care, blocked energy. If you're constantly overworked and giving everything you've got to others, you'll drain all your energy and be mired in lethargy. It doesn't do anyone any good if you are so burnt out that you can't focus on your work or enjoy life. Take some much needed time off and prioritize yourself. Recharge with a nature walk, plant a tree, breathe in fresh air. Refresh your eyes by looking at trees in the distance and enjoy some good food, perhaps a picnic with your friends. All right, and the questions are, outside of work, what are some things that bring you fulfillment? What are your proudest achievements? If you're feeling burnt out, set aside some time today to take a break. Put down your phone, stop thinking about what you need to do next, and just relax in a way that makes you feel good. It could be meditation, yoga, a bath, taking a walk, mindfully enjoying your favorite foods, or luxuriating in a nap. I love naps. All right, so that is pretty much all I have for this deck. I think it is a very fun deck and kind of overload for your eyes, but still, I really do like it. Okay, so let me know what you thought about it, and if you plan on buying it after seeing my video, please let me know. If it's not for you, just like some decks are not for everybody, let me know about that as well. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys think about decks, and if you did get it, let me know how it's going for you and what you like about it and what you don't like about it. But once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope that you will join me with a future video. But until next time, take care and goodbye, my dears.